Hey Adam, my name's Simon from Little Big Marketing. You probably have heard about me a little bit from Mark. I don't think we've ever actually officially met since I've been over in the States for the last few years, and I think, yeah, it's been since then that you have been working with Mark and whatnot in the club. So nice to meet you, kind of, but I just wanted to run through a few things about SEO and about a possible plan for you. I gave Mark a couple of things to let you know about in terms of like SEO and what would be some requirements, and I'll give you a little bit more now, but I'll also show you some of the possibilities here for the Sunshine Coast. And then I wanted to show you a couple of examples from a Google ad that I saw run here and for quite some time, meaning that it was obviously quite productive or quite effective for the business, and the area that's running it is actually really small, but they draw an enormous crowd every single weekend. So I'll show you that as well. So SEO is all about making your online presence essentially relevant to certain keywords, and a keyword is just anything that someone might type into Google looking for a particular service or product in general or information. So when someone types in something like Sunshine Coast restaurants, you want to tell Google, by optimizing your presence, you want to tell Google, I am a restaurant on the Sunshine Coast. And then of course when a person then comes across it, they can see that clear as day as well. And it's about making your whole online presence relevant to those search phrases that you want to target. So I'll show you what I mean. And we use your website to build in that relevance primarily. So I think Ellie, my wife, built this website, and I think Robin has been keeping it updated or something for the last couple of years. But with our services as as an SEO company, we would provide those updates and things for you in terms of SEO. Not necessarily menu, but we can talk about whatever else you need there. If that was a requirement that you had. Just wanted to show you here on this is called a Google My Business or a Google Business Profile if you weren't familiar. This is included in SEO. These are extremely lucrative in the restaurant business. Now you're in an area that doesn't have a huge population surrounding you, but these can span with quite a wide radius. Normally a Google Business, I say that because normally a Google My Business is only shown to people within a certain proximity to the business. But because you're in that area, it's going to span quite wide, that radius. And I just wanted to show you here, I noticed that your primary category is for a sports bar. So I mentioned to Mark that you might want to sort of choose a particular category, and this is why, okay? And actually, let me bring up a list for you, and I'll just show you a list that's available. Okay, so this is a complete list of available Google Business categories for restaurants here. So you can see, I don't know what that is, Korea, restaurant, Afghan, African, and we go down the list. And obviously sports bar would be somewhere in this. There's 5 pages here. So I think I will talk with Mark a little bit more about getting you this list and just making sure that we add the correct correct categories to your listing. You can have more than one. You can have up to or you can have as many as you like, but it's best to stay within a 2 or 3 sort of max, depending on what you are going to offer. So if you're a bistro, fine dining, maybe you do specialize in burritos, whatever it is, that's something that you would kind of have to figure out, and I can help you with that, just to go from there, so that we make sure that you're categorized correctly. So, and then ranking these on Google is extremely effective, because if I type in something like Sunshine Coast restaurants here, that's what I've done, you can see these come up straight away, and it's these that get a lot of clicks and often result in a sale. Okay, now when someone's typing in something kind of generic like Sunshine Coast restaurants, they may be looking for these kinds of lists. So that's something that's important to note as I go on here, that the term Sunshine Coast restaurants is searched for quite a lot, and I'll show you that in a second. But it is a broad enough term that those people might not be looking for that specific type of restaurant that you have. Okay, so and then if you type in Sunshine Coast Fine Dining, it's more likely that people will see these images and may be enticed by these images, because this is a little bit more specific now. They're looking for a specific type of restaurant, and maybe they don't want to see the best overall restaurants on the Sunshine Coast, but they want something to do with fine dining, or they type in sports bar, whatever. Okay, and this would be worth going for this keyword, this top spot, if you were looking to go for, say, fine dining, and taking that spot from these guys, because when we could be more specific than these people to that search phrase. If this is getting confusing, don't worry too much. It all makes sense over time. And then going to have a look at what the keywords that this company here is actually showing for on Google. We can look at every single one and see how many times they're searched in Google per month. That's volume. So restaurants Sunshine Coast is searched for nearly 4,000 times a month in Google, and doesn't have a whole lot of competition. So it's a keyword that you could potentially target, but it is very broad. And again, people may be looking for lists or other types of restaurants, within that search. Whereas if you went to something like, and you can see here, there's a lot of search volume for these keywords. We've got hundreds of people every month searching for all these different types of restaurants. And where did I see one that was quite specific? Or French restaurant. I mean, if you were a French restaurant and you were at the very top of the organic search results, or in the GMB section there, the maps, and someone typed in French restaurant Sunshine Coast, you get that sale 9 times out of 10. And that's why it is important, and why I'm trying to explain that the specificity can help you, but it also reduces the overall search volume that you're going to be able to show for. So we try and balance that. Anyway, as you can see, there's tons and tons and tons of search volume here. Restaurants in Budrum, restaurant Sunshine Coast. Even these smaller volumes are worth ranking for, because they can generate quite a lot of sales every month, and these numbers are often underreported, sometimes up to 10 times. So this could be 500 people searching a month in reality. And if you were to combine them all together, it would be a few hundred for each one of these terms. So just so you know. Now, if I type in something a little more specific to you that I could choose for you, whereas I can't really choose the category, I guess I could have gone for sports bar, but I didn't see that until after. So restaurants Sunshine Coast Hinterland, if you're showing in these top areas, there's a good chance that you'll make that sale. Still going to involve people looking for a choice of different types of restaurants, or a list or something from TripAdvisor or one of these other websites. But if you were at the top here and potentially at the top on this as well, you'll definitely make some sales from a keyword like that. And then you can see, that's right. So I took this person here and I put them. Oh, by the way, this is a tool we use called Ahrefs, and you can see I've put the website into this tool, and it's going to show me everything that this website's doing in terms of SEO to rank for these keywords here that I'm showing you. So you've got the keyword on the left, volume on the right. Restaurant Sunshine Coast Hinterland is searched for approximately 350 times a month, probably more. Okay, so you can see how we're getting a little bit more specific. More likely you'd make a sale, but there is less volume. Okay, so that's how we need to think about this. And then the next part of that I want to show you is, let's say we did want to rank for this restaurant's Sunshine Coast Hinterland. We then look at what this, as I said before, what this website is doing in terms of SEO. And we use these referring domains. What a referring domain is a website that is giving a link to another website. And that link, when someone was to click on it, takes them to that other website. That acts like an endorsement of your website. Okay, and we can actually come in here and see what websites are linking to this page, and we can get those exact same links, because those endorsements are what essentially push us up Google. Okay, and we go and get more than these guys, and better ones as well. Other restaurants offering an endorsement to another restaurant is a very high valued endorsement, because obviously they're also an expert in the field of the restaurant business. So there's a lot to this, but I'm just sort of giving you a bit of a high level. So what we would need to do for SEO is just work out, if there's anything specific that we could kind of dial in on. We could still have those broad terms as well, target those broad terms as well. But the more specific we get, the easier it is to rank, the faster it is to rank, and the more likely it is you'll actually make a sale from each phone call you take from a keyword that is more relevant to you or more specific to you. Okay. But you can see these guys are getting a roughly 348 people a month coming through to their web. That's organic traffic from that organic section or the Google Business. And if they're all resulting in phone calls, like that's a lot of phone calls a month. And these guys aren't well SEO'd in any way, shape, or form. So that's what I would be looking to do. Focus in on some keywords, make your website relevant to those keywords, and go out and get those endorsements to push you to the top of Google. And then anyone searching in that area is going to hopefully see your Google business and your website at the top of Google, click on you and call you, okay, or book a reservation. Now, the next thing I'd like to say, because obviously we want to make some quick revenue, is that Facebook ads can work really, really well, because people that don't even know that you exist or don't know that they want what you have, you can put a Facebook ad in front of those people, and if they see it and it's creative and it looks good, they'll click on it. And then if you've got an irresistible offer or something that they want, they tend to turn into a good sale. And I just wanted to show you some examples here that I've seen, that I mentioned earlier, that I've seen work here in a smaller town. It's about 45 minutes from me, and it's actually caused me to drive that 45 minutes from one of these Facebook ads, and many other people I know. That's why I know this ad is extremely effective, and this place is packed every single weekend. Okay, so you can see they've got some fairly creative imagery, but it's nothing super spectacular. The one that got me, unfortunately, I can't show you, but because it's saying here I can't determine my age. That's never been a problem before. But it was essentially a margarita flight, and it had like 4 different colored margaritas. I think Mark's played around with this a little bit. But the idea behind Facebook ads is you have something like that's eye-catching, because as people are scrolling, you want them to go, oh, they're nice looking drinks, whatever. It's all branded, so it's very professional. You can see like this one here, the Jameson. That's a really nice image. It might, if anyone likes Jameson and they're scrolling along and they see that, they go, whoa, where's that? Wouldn't mind doing that. Straight away, book now. It's easy as that, okay? Now, the idea behind this is what you want to do is have something that you can sell at scale that you know you make X amount of profit on every time you sell it, and then how many you want to sell in a night. So if you knew that you wanted to get 100 people in your restaurant on a Saturday night, and then we would work out the number of people that we need to put the ad in front of to generate that 100 people coming to your business. And we just work our way back through the numbers. If we were at a 10% conversion rate, to get 100 people there, we would need to put that ad in front of 1,000 people. If that's kind of an easy way to explain it. It's a little bit more complicated than that, but that's the idea behind it. So we would just need some really creative imagery from you that we would give you help with, and Mark has been really, really good with in the past. Particularly his I remember his meat platters were, again, it doesn't have to be a meat platter, it doesn't have to be margaritas, it can be anything you like, as long as it's creative, it's a nice image, eye-catching, okay? So I'm just showing you some of the ones that these guys have used. Nice, eye-catching, and then, hey, come along and get one of these drinks. Maybe it's buy one margarita flight, get one free or something, and you know that each one of those you make $5, but you're going to make that $5 100 times, 2 nights every weekend type thing. And so we're looking for something that we can scale without too much stress on the restaurant, and that leaves, you're making profit from the drinks, and then everything you make in the restaurant is just gravy from then on. Okay, you can choose it to be a meal instead, totally up to you. It would just mean that if you wanted to profit at scale, then you obviously need to be able to turn around a lot of whatever meal it is, in any given night. So I like to tell restaurants to focus on drinks, particularly in the early stages of their campaigns, until they know, okay, I can punch out 50 burgers every single whatever and make $10 on every single burger, and we can do hundreds of them every night, whatever it is. Okay, so I hope that that kind of helps. We could build an ad campaign and just have a quick chat and see, like, okay, what is it that you want to offer, and how many people do you want? And then we would then go and sort of build a campaign that would essentially put it in front of enough people, like I mentioned. All right, I hope that all makes sense, and please reach out to Mark for if you've got any other questions or whatever. I'm also happy to jump on a Zoom or something with you and Mark, and we can talk about where we want to go and make sure that we're all hunky dory. So Hope to hear from you, mate. And again, nice to kind of meet you. Have a great one.